a quick video, and we'll go through the renderings, and then the speakers will be available for one-on-ones over here afterwards. So with that, I'll turn it over to Sashi Brown.
Thanks, Chad, and thanks everyone for being here this morning. It is a beautiful, albeit a bit crisp morning here in downtown Baltimore, but exciting moment for us this morning. The Ravens are rolling. Here we sit. Coach Harbaugh has us playing fantastic football. Thanks, Tylen Wallace, for that walk-off punt return Sunday overtime thriller. Last night, Roquan and Justin and a number of our other Ravens players were in the community at our Holiday Helpers events, making sure that a number of our area youth that have a little bit less than others were out in the community with them, being able to shop and bring some gifts to make them feel special this holiday season. Beyond winning football games and beyond the community impact that we want to have here in Baltimore, we have a third prong of our mission here at the Ravens, and that is to ensure that we deliver to the flock, our Ravens fans, the best game day experience in the NFL. And so this morning, it's very exciting for us to be able to announce a fantastic renovation program for our home here, M&T Bank Stadium. These renovations will allow us to deliver an exciting and evolved game day experience that will really transform the stadium. And secondly, and I think importantly, will make important infrastructure and systems investments in the stadium to ensure the state-owned asset has long-term viability. I'm going to turn the mic over to my colleagues and friends here on the stage. Let me introduce them. All the way here on your right is Rich Tamayo, SVP of Stadium Operations, Ryan Sickman at Gensler, our architect of record on the project, Brad Downs, who runs marketing and is SVP of marketing for the Ravens, and Chairman Craig Thompson. Before I turn the mic over to Craig, I just want to say thank you to the state of Maryland and to the Stadium Authority. We would not be here and as successful as the Ravens have been if we didn't have the strong partnership that we have with the Maryland Stadium Authority and the state of Maryland. I want to thank Governor Hogan and current Governor Wes Moore and their staffs, legislature and leadership, Bill Ferguson, Adrian Jones, and others who put legislation in place to make this happen. And certainly want to call out Phil Hudson and Kelly, who are downstairs meeting right now and have been the design team that have put all this together with Gilbane and Gensler, our partners on the project. So this is going to be fantastic. We will get to the elements of the project. But before we do that, I wanted to turn it over to Craig for some remarks. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Sashi, and good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a bit more of a call and response type of person. I want to echo and reinforce what Sashi said in terms of making sure that we are locking in a foundation for the future, not only on the field, but off the field as well. Since moving into this position as chair of the Maryland Stadium Authority in March, on every agenda, we have had an item to approve a facilities upgrade with respect to this amazing program and projects that you're going to hear about today. At the beginning of the year, we locked in the Ravens for 7 more years on the field. That also allowed them to unlock some state funds that will allow an amazing redevelopment, not only in the state of Maryland, but in particular, Mr. Mayor, in the city of Baltimore. That's exactly what we're going to do. So in terms of the agenda items for guaranteed maximum prices, for some of the projects you're going to hear about today, approving Gensler and Gilbane as our partners in this work. We have been partnering with the Ravens and with Sashi and the team to make sure that we are preparing ourselves for a guaranteed best-in-class place to play football, as well as for other events and for the citizens of the state of Maryland. So on behalf of the Maryland Stadium Authority, I want to say thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to the city, to the governor, Wes Moore, but I want to give another shout out to Phil Hudson, Michael Friends, who is the executive director, Terry Hasseltine is here, Rachelina is here as well, and Phil and Kelly and the team. We are working in partnership to make this an amazing project and one that each and every one of you in this room and outside of this room will be proud of. So on behalf of the Stadium Authority, I want to thank you all for being here, and I'm excited about today.
Well, that's a great segue. into some looks at this project, finally. There's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and we are thrilled to give everybody a peek at these projects of what M&T Bank Stadium will look like into the future. So without further ado, we're going to start with a video that kicks off the projects.
For 25 seasons, we've shared that M&T Bank Stadium magic.
Sharp up the far sideline. Sherry Sharp, touchdown!
And for 25 seasons, we've invested in a game day experience worthy of our flock, leading to an atmosphere and a home field advantage that rivals any sports venue in the world.
I think what you're about to see will be the finest stadium ever built for professional football in this country.
Pass is intercepted. The Hayes in the barn, and the Ravens are in the playoffs, and this house is on fire.
Professional sports does one thing, I think, to a community. It allows people from all walks of life where we all can come together for one cause.
But we're just getting started here in Baltimore, and we're excited to reveal first looks at the next evolution of M&T Bank Stadium to ensure that our world-class home remains the best place to celebrate, to cheer, and to unite as the Ravens flock.
There's no place like Baltimore!
We are transforming M&T Bank Stadium by enhancing the experience beyond the seat, beginning with a revitalization of our North Plaza with 2 large buildings, including a concert venue, open-air tailgating, an indoor sports bar, a retail store, and new opportunities to celebrate Ravens history. We're adding significant developments around our exterior plazas, including the Gatehouse, with 2 levels of social space, starting with a beer hall on the ground floor and a roof deck above to allow fans to pregame with a view of the city. And on the South Plaza, our first ever 365-day-a-year retail store. Entering the stadium, Ravens fans will notice wider concourses, additional restrooms, and more areas to gather with friends, plus a visual transformation to honor our Hall of Famers, Ring of Honor members, our success, and our city. The concourses will also be refreshed with more amenities, technology offerings, and more efficient concessions to make every trip to the bank more enjoyable. For any Raven fan looking to add premium experiences to their game day rituals, there will be 3 new field club level spaces on the north, south, and west sides of the stadium, including views of the team tunnel, seats on the field, and enhanced food and beverage options. These renovations will also include enhanced premium offerings throughout the stadium, highlighted by the Black Wing, a new club and suite space opening in 2024. These new projects and experiences will impact every fan and every area in and around our great stadium. You've made this house a home, and we're about to make it even better.
So while it's hard to top that video, Rich and I are going to take you through those projects in a little bit more detail. But before we do that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan Sickman from our Gensler team to say a few words.
Thanks, Brad. First of all, I want to thank everybody, the state of Maryland, city of Baltimore, Ravens, Maryland Stadium Authority for allowing us to be a part of this project. It's really an honor for us to get to not only work with these tremendous individuals, but to start to realize a vision of the future of this venue. It's been such a great home for the Ravens and for your citizens for the last 25 years. We are honored to be able to help usher that into a new era of experience for your fans. You saw a lot of stuff on that video that's going to elaborate and enhance the fan experience. That's what it's all about, and it really starts with the entrance sequence. You'll see Brad and Richard are going to take you through some of the improvements on the north side, some of the improvements on the south side as we begin to connect the stadium to the greater experience of Baltimore, begin to touch back towards the city, provide that arrival sequence along Ravens Walk. It's the single most important aspect of a fan's experience is their sense of arrival. When they come, they know that's going to set the tone for the entirety of the day. All the way through the stadium, too, we're going to see experiences from the very, very bottom of the stadium at the event level and some underutilized space immediately adjacent to the field, all the way up to the fans on the 500 level. It's important that as we look at these renovations, we hone in on a fan experience for every single fan in this stadium. It's really about enhancing that experience and making sure that everybody that comes here feels like there's something for them as part of this community, and that we've really enhanced every experience for the flock. So with that, I'm going to stop talking and allow you guys to understand a little bit more about each of these experiences in here, but thank you again for allowing us to be such a huge part of this.
So now the fun part. So we get to go through these projects. Before we dive in, I do want to add to what Ryan said about a couple of key things that we talked about when we set out to design these improvements. We really gave them 3 pieces of direction when it comes to design and the architecture. We feel strongly that this building has held the test of time. So all of these improvements should feel like they fit M&T Bank Stadium. We didn't want to create a new design direction or anything of the sort. We also want to be true to where the stadium sits, both in the complex and our great city of Baltimore. So hopefully you saw in the video, and you'll see as we go through, that Gensler and the MSA and the entire team has done a good job of working with that direction. So let's dive in to some of the projects. There we go. So let's start right out here, the North Plaza. So we're creating a new front door to M&T Bank Stadium. If you're familiar with our game day, Ravens Walk is one of the premier pregame destinations in the league. We have a packed house out there under the overpass. We have live music. We have our radio broadcast pregame show out there, and it leads to this North Plaza. And what it's going to do is extend the opportunity for fans to come to the stadium footprint. And you see in this image here, these 2 buildings on the north side are going to provide us an indoor conditioned sports bar space, an outdoor tailgate venue highlighted by a stage that will allow us to have pregame concerts out in this space. On the west side, a retail store, a unique concept on the 2nd floor of that building that will be a hospitality and Hall of Fame for us to represent some of our history that we've developed so far. And then there's going to be group hospitality options as well on this north side. So we'll take a look at this next image that shows a view in the plaza. So this is looking toward Russell Street, and it looks into that outdoor space and that concert venue. So you can see there's multiple tiers, with the top tier that will connect into the club level of the stadium.
Now, we'll extend the secure perimeter here on the north, invest in new technology, seamless experience, expand our doors, make sure that possibly have this be a ticketed space so that guests can tailgate. As you know, the beer is colder and the hot dogs taste better here in our footprint, so we want to make sure we extend that.
Great point, Rich. So let's keep moving around the perimeter of the stadium. Perhaps.
You want me to click?
Well. All right, so if we move around to the east side of the stadium, which is over near the light rail tracks, we get to the gatehouse. Now we're catching up. So we currently, outside of Gate B, all right,
This is how fast the projects are actually moving. So you're actually watching.
It's that easy.
Phil, right? Is that correct, Phil? You're right, yeah.
So this is a look at Gate B. Our current beer garden that we have here is a tent that is heated in the winter and provides some protection of the elements. Here we're adding a 2-story structure that will be attached to the concourse as well, so it'll serve as a concourse improvement and a pregame destination. So that first floor you see is conditioned space. The second floor is open air, but it is protected from the elements. So we move into the interior of the space, and as you see there we go. So the ground floor is our beer hall concept. So conditioned space, it'll have its own restrooms, and be full service. And then as we move through this space, you get to the rooftop, which, again, tying back to Baltimore. Rooftop decks are a big piece of Baltimore. So great views to the city from the second floor here that'll be a key destination for fans pregame each and every week. So before we move inside the building, the south side Plaza is going to be our 365-day-a-year retail store. And we're working on the design of that. That's a 2026 project, so that image isn't in here at the moment.
Yeah, and one thing worth mentioning about the North and the Gatehouse area is our guests here in the club have asked for connection, basically their own entry, and that will be able to solve that, right? So they'll be able to get through to, on this North Plaza, up to this club level, making Baker and his team really, really happy.
So as we come inside, touched on this earlier, every level of the stadium is going to be improved. Every concourse in the stadium is going to be improved. A visual refresh on every level. This club level will be refreshed. All of the restrooms on the club level are going to be redone. The suite levels above us will be redone. We're going to touch on the upper and lower concourse right now. I'm going to start with the upper concourse. Our upper concourse and upper level fans have been tremendous for us over the years. So, you know, one of the things that we've come to realize over the years is that our concourses are a little bit cramped. So you can see in this image, we have 3 areas, one large area on the north side, right above us actually, and then 2 on the south side where we're going to expand the concourses. Between those 3 expansions, it's going to add 12,000 square feet of space to the upper level concourse and allow us to bring in amenities like the one you see here, the destination. You know, with the crowded concourse in the upper level, the fans don't have an opportunity to grab a drink, some food, and just stay in the concourse and before they head to their seat in the game. And if you haven't spent any time on the upper level concourse, you should. The views are amazing. The view from the upper level concourse around this building is tremendous. So we feel strongly that after we improve the upper level here, that's going to be a destination in and of itself for our upper level ticket holders. So we're really excited about how we're going to transform the upper level. And then as we get into the lower concourse, here's an example of visual transformation. You see our Ring of Honor, Terrell Suggs right here represented on the pillars. And then this is a concept of a potential upgrade to the lower level concourse. The goal on the concourse is to create more spaces and destinations for fans to socialize, to make it easier to get a drink or food and get back to their seat and provide this home field advantage.
That's great.
One thing to note too, with the upper level expansion, we are able to increase the capacity of the restrooms up there. We're working hard to do that. We know that's trying to help the efficiency all over the building is certainly something that we're focused on. Now let's move downstairs. So as Ryan mentioned, on our service level or field level here at the stadium, we're adding 3 new clubs to the footprint in currently underutilized space. It's dirt right now, so it's being excavated. So
it was utilized. We had storage. Yeah. We no longer have that. Yeah.
So excited to bring these into some new spaces. We'll start on the south, which is the opposite side of the stadium. The South Club will be a premium club. All 3 of these premium clubs, I should add, are experiences that fans can add on to their ticket. There's definitely a trend that there's a lot of fans that want to add experiences to their ticket, and these 3 clubs are an opportunity for our fans to do that. So starting in the south, this club is going to be right at the 50-yard line and adjacent to the walkway where our players come in and out of the field for pregame warm-ups at halftime. You're going to get a view through into that 50-yard line tunnel. So you'll get to see the players go on and off the field, and you'll also be able to look into Coach Harbaugh's post-game press conference. A couple views of that. And then if we move over to this side, the north side, another club. As we take a look at this, I'll note that all of these clubs will have inclusive options in food and beverage. And then on the north and south clubs, we are adding limited seats on the field that will have connectivity to these clubs. So the seats on the field will come online next year, and then the clubs will come online in 2025 and create that connection in. So then as we get into the west end zone, which would be the end zone behind you, we're creating a unique club here in the sense of we'll have two bars that can be very distinct from each other that the club holders will be able to access. And it'll be highlighted in the middle by a set of suites that will have view through out onto the field and seats onto the field. So in this West End Zone club, as with all the clubs, there will be easy access to get down and back up. So if you have a seat in the lower concourse, in the club, in the upper level, you can go down if you want. This is really available for anybody, any ticket holder in the stand. So these suites in the West End Zone will have a look out to the field, as I mentioned, a little bit of a unique socializing space with a few bars and food options in there, and then you'll have seats that are right on the field here at M&T Bank Stadium. And then highlighting our premium experience here is a new experience that we're really excited about. It's called the Black Wing. And the Black Wing is comprised, it will open in 2024. It's comprised of three key elements. You see the entrance here, and then it's comprised of a bar that'll be a very premium bar for those guests who want to enjoy that. There will be a lounge, and then the lounge is connected to 10 suites. So these suites will have a great view to the field. They flank the 50-yard line on each side. And again, this is a project that comes online in 2024. So in summary, as the video teed up, a lot of these renovations are focused on the experience beyond the seat. We're incredibly proud of our experience here at M&T Bank Stadium. We consistently rank in the top 5 amongst NFL teams in experience via the Voice of the Fan survey. We feel strongly that these renovations will allow us to remain near the top or at the top of the league for years to come. So with that, unless I missed anything, Rich?
Oh, you got everything.
There we go.
Great, yeah.
That's going to conclude this portion of the day. As Chad said earlier, we'll be available for one-on-ones. We've got some lunch for you today to enjoy. And the doors to the seating bowl are open, and some of these images are going to scroll through if you want to get any shots out in the seating bowl or take a look out there. Thank you guys all for coming out, and we're excited to continue down the road with these improvements to M&T Bank Stadium.